Hi guys, my name is Alex Petrescu and I welcome you today here on YouTube on my finance and accounting education channel. Today we are going to do something very nice. I have just realized that I have been, let's say in the past with my videos, I have been going in the wrong direction, meaning that we need to go back to basics. I was just thinking that, and I was expressing that in my first video, that maybe for some of you the things that I'm presenting are already known, but for most of you, so for like 85% of you, it might be difficult to understand. Hence we need to go back to basics. And what we are going to do today, now, live and together, of course, we are going to build a let's say a personal budget. We are going to use Excel. It's not going to be something very sophisticated, so you don't need to know too many functions in Excel. We are going to use only one function, and I'm going to try to explain it as good as I can. You might ask yourself, what is with this personal budget? Why should I have something like that? It's very easy. The companies do it. So all the companies have a budget. It's from financial performance point of view, it's one of the main instruments used in a company, and they are doing it because they have very smart guys in working in these companies. And if you want to be smart like somebody who's working in a company and to have a, let's say a good financial result for yourselves as persons, you should also do this. There are multiple benefits. First of all, it's raising your awareness about your own behavior from financial point of view. So knowing what you are doing with your money every month, it's very important. I'm going to assume a few things, and first of all, I'm going to assume that you have an Excel. You can do it also with maybe with a pen on or with a pencil actually on a piece of paper, but it will be very complicated. It's easier in Excel. You can delete, overwrite the data. It's faster. Then I'm going to assume that you have at least one bank account. If your life revolves around cash, and it might be possible, at least in Europe, here in Central Europe, in Germany, in Austria, cash is still very popular. But I'm going to assume that you have a bank account, so a current account. And to make things even easier, I'm going to take into consideration the fact that you also have a credit card. It doesn't really matter now how you are, let's say, using your credit card, whether you are using it as a revolving product or you are a free rider, meaning that you just use it for the transactions in a month, and at the end of the month you pay in full your debt, which is the recommended way. And we are going to come in later videos in which we are going to talk about debt. We'll bring some more details about credit cards and how to use them and what alternatives you have and so on and so forth. Now I'm going to and the idea is that besides gaining awareness about your financial situation, you might discover that you are living above your means. That leads to debt. Having debt means no savings. No savings means no investment. No investment means no wealth, ever. So the first step in the direction of you having a better financial life, let's say, having a better management of your money, is knowing what you are doing every month. So I'm going to switch now to Excel. It's very simple. In the cell B1 we are going to write 01/01/2021. Let's assume we are in January. I'm going to drag this to the right, and so on and so forth. Unfortunately, it seems that the format of the date is wrong, as it keeps on writing. So switch to UK. It keeps on writing the day instead of the month as I want it. So I want here to have the 12 months. Then I'm going to write so 01/01. Here I'm going to write in the second cell 01/02. Okay, then I need to write 02/01. and then I'm going to drag the two cells. And now if we want to have an easier format, like we want to see the, let's say we want to see the month, so we don't really care about the day because we are doing this, yeah. For some weird reason this is not very good. So I want a format with year and month. Where are you? It should be here between the English formats. Yes, this one I want it. So, sorry for the delay. The dates in Excel, I have a course about Excel also, and the date formatting in Excel is always a headache for anybody, no matter how experienced you are. The idea is that now we have the months of the year from January till December, and I took 2021 as an example because we are in 2021. So, first what we are going to write here, we are going to write the sources of income. We are going to write the ones which repeat every month, but also if you have something which is coming only from time to time, if you have some fluxes of income that are not regularly coming, you can add others. But first we are going to write like income, salary, for example. Most of you will have a salary. If you are a teenager, because I'm trying to do this friendly for everybody, you can write here income money from mom, income money from grandma, and so on and so forth. So it doesn't really matter. Here you are going to have the positive, so the money that you are receiving from the others. I'm just going to write 1000, and I will assume that it's the same for all the months. Yeah. Then we are going to have here all the expenses, and we are going to put them with minus. My advice is here to have them a little bit aggregated, so not that many details. And for some of them you will need details, and we will see later how to do that. First of all, you can write here utilities. Of course, you can have here in detail, so rent, utilities, internet, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to leave it utilities, and that's it. You do it as you want. If you want to have more details here also, you can do it like that. Then food, yeah, we all need to eat, so we are all buying food, and any other types of let's say expenses. For example, you can have a credit installment, you can have clothing, you can have if you have a car, you can have leasing for car, you can have fuel for car. I wrote something else for car. You can have repairs in the house. Once again, these need not repeat every month, so you can have them in some months, you can have them in some other months, not that much, it depends. Then you can have entertainment, clothing we said already. What else can you have? Maybe you have some pension fund, maybe you have some insurance. It doesn't really matter, everything needs to be here. Let's stop right now, because the idea is that I'm not trying to give you the exact list of expenditure or of expenses that you have every month. You need to figure that out for yourself. And how do you figure that out? By checking your bank account, by checking your bank statement. Here at the bottom we are going to put end of month, and we are going to say, okay, I'm going to put some value here. Let's say that I have food 200 units. It doesn't really matter if that's in dollars, in euros, you get it. And utilities minus 100. And yeah, let's say that I have this each and every month. And let's say that somewhere I have some repairs in May, and that's it. Yeah, so we are not going to make this more complicated than it should be. Then okay, my advice is here to put a line and also on top, so just under the month. It looks better with the table. And you have end of month, and you have, let's say, so not end of month, so let's say, how should we say, result of the month, and then we put end of month, let's say. Yeah, so it should be easier to do it like this. Let's put another border here so that it's clear. On the result of the month you will have the sum of what happened in that respective month. Yeah, so for example, in January, at the end I should have 700 euros or dollars, it doesn't really matter what, and we drag it to the right. And then end of month, so for example, for January 2021 should be the result of the month plus whatever we had before 1st of January 2021, so what we had at the end of December 2020. We assume you had nothing to simplify things, and we say, okay, for the first month it will be also 700 because we drag nothing from back. From previous period with us. Then for February we will say it's results of the month February plus the end of month January, and we are also going to drag it down. Yeah. The idea is the following: this number 700 here needs to be the sum of current account and credit card. Yeah, let's say in your current account you have 800 and minus 100. Yeah, so this should, on your credit card you owe 100, and this should happen each and every month. Now this is a budget. What is a budget? A budget is a way of looking forward to your income and expenses. Now, once the month is over, let's say January is over, you have multiple opportunities. You can copy everything what is here, this structure, you put it down here, and you put inside what actually happened. Let's say that the food didn't cost you 200, it costed you 150. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to put another column here next to January, in which you put the January what is called actuals, because this was the budget. That's also an opportunity. However, the way I do it, it's much more easier because it ensures that there is the end of month, the real end of month is being carried forward. It looks like a forecast. The idea is once a month is over, I'm seeing that the result is okay with what I have in my bank account and on my credit card. I'm marking it with some color, let's say yellow, and I say this month is closed and it stays like this and is actual. And 700 is being taken over further. The idea is that I'm overwriting all these values with actual values. Now for some of them I said you can do it very detailed here, or you can do it in another way. How I do it is that, okay, you go to a different sheet, and the idea is that you start writing here everything you have in your bank account. I said you can do it also with the cash, but it will be more difficult because you need to remember. With the bank account is easier because you see the transactions in a very short time after you did them. So I'm going to start writing 5 food, yeah, for example. You can add here details. You can say if it's from the credit card. You can say the name of the shop from where you bought your food. This structure it's depending entirely on you. Here we are going to say that is the first month, so that we know what we are talking about. I'm going to copy the first month. Then we are going to say here 10 utilities, transportation. So for example, if you have bought some tickets for the subway or something like that, it doesn't really matter. The idea is that you need then to leave some space here, and this space will be filled with all your monthly transaction from your bank account. At the end, you are going to do something which is called SUMIF. This is the only complex function that I'm going to introduce. So we are going to say SUMIF. Range means where should the function look? Well, the function should look on column C in my case. After which criteria? The criteria will be on the right side, so it will be in my case on cell C35, and then is asking what should I add, yeah? And we are going to add the column B in this case. And of course I'm going to have here food, utilities. I'm going to drag the formula, but be careful to fix it. So we are going to put some dollars here in the ranges before the row numbers, so that they stay fixed. And you drag it, and utilities, I wrote something, yes, I wrote here, yeah. And you can have here, from everything that's here, you can have any given number of them. Some of them you won't have transactions every month or more transactions. The idea is that here you have all the details, and here you have the things on the budget, you have them summarized. Now we are going to do a link. So for utilities I'm going to say it's going to be this, and for the food I'm going to say it's going to be this. Of course, now you will have a lot of transactions here that will add up to a certain value. What is important here? It's very important that the result at the end of the month, and we will come later, it's not negative. If it's negative and it's happening every month, you have a problem, because that means that you are overspending your income. You are living above, so beyond your possibilities, and this can only lead you into trouble for a long time. Of course, now you can do, for example, you can do here sum for the entire year. However, since you are not let's say a company, that's not so relevant for you. It's important how much money you have at the end of the year. For example, here we can say a special line would be savings. And the idea would be that we have at the end of the year 8,185, and those would be savings, yeah? Let's put 8,180 so that we don't leave the bank account completely empty. Maybe we need €5 for the, or $5 for the commissions and so on and so forth. And this money, 8,180, will go into your wealth. Now, we are going to have a detail here about wealth. At the beginning, this might not be very rich, the numbers might not be very significant, but the idea is it will improve in time once you are aware about what's happening with your money. So, for example, let's say you have shares. Let's say you have deposit. So bank deposits. Somehow I don't know how to write anymore. Deposits. Then you can have insurance, so life insurance, and so on and so forth. And the idea is that here you will start, I don't know, maybe you will have 50, you will have here 1,000 life insurance, so you will have a pension, it doesn't really matter. The idea is that these numbers which you are taking out here will come up here in this value. This will be your wealth area, but some of them will generate, okay, for the shares you will have share prices growth, so it's not the value of the shares will not grow only with the value of this. Let's say that at the end of the year you are buying shares for 8,180, you should actually have here the actual value, so at let's say at the price at the end of the month, not the value of the shares at the value at which you bought them, and so on and so forth. So the idea, I mean, this might look very complex. It's not that complex. It's very simple. I know that many people don't do this. Banks, for example, are asking for something like this, meaning that they are asking you when you are taking a loan to do for this sort of budget. Okay, they don't need it for 12 months, but they need an average month, let's say, in which you are listing all your sources of income, all your typical expenditures, so your typical expenses, to which you need to add when you are taking a loan, so you get a credit from the bank, to which you need to add your monthly installment for that credit. That means that they want to see you, that you are aware of what's going on with your personal finances. That's the idea. Now, about credit cards, another thing which I would like to mention, if you have a credit card, let's say that the credit card is feeding from your current account, and let's say that at some point you might be just as I have said, you might be a free rider, meaning that the entire debt will be paid at once, or you might have it as a revolving product and you are going to pay like 5% or 10% of your debt plus interest. You can have, for example, in January, you already had at the beginning of the year some debt on your credit card, and you can have minus 55, yeah, so credit card. the idea is the following. Do not include this here, because this 55 is just the result of buying things, yeah? So you've previously bought something. Let's say that in December you've bought clothing for 55 euros. If you put here 55 euros, you need not add again the payment or the repayment of your 55 euros from credit card. So this would be the idea. However, you need to mind this credit card, because together with your current account, it's giving you the, let's say, your current cash position, so to say. So short-term debt together with your money. Of course, also here on the wealth, if you have some debt, you should maybe put it in as well. So let's say that you have a mortgage minus 200. Let's say it's just some leftover, and if you do the sum of these things, so all your assets minus all your all the assets that you hold on long term, so we are not talking about the current bank account or the credit card, or in terms of debt, so you will have only the long-term debt and the long-term assets that you are holding, the investments. And let's say at the end of January you have a 850 wealth. So once again, this is going to help you clarify what is going on with your finances in 1 month. You need not ask yourself if there are any benefits behind it. I can assure you the benefits are outstanding. Once you know what's going on here, you can stop living beyond your means, and you can start having the results of the month. Maybe not in every month, sometimes unexpected things happen, or some things happen in specific months and not in the others. Maybe not in all the month you will have a positive here, but the sum for 1 year, for example, would be positive. And once you have this positive sum here for 1 year, you can start saving, and then we can start talking about investing. I gave you here some examples. We will talk again about investing in a future episode. Once again, this was an example of how to use Excel to build a personal budget. You see, it's not very complicated. You build a budget, then you start replacing the months with effective numbers. You will grow better at this once you start knowing, for example, what kind of expenses you have behind utilities. You have a mobile phone, you have internet, you have the rent for your home. Of course, if you have rent, probably you don't have mortgage, but that's a different story. You have electricity, you have gas. You have a garage, so a place where you park your car. What else can you have? You can have a gym membership. You can have satellite TV that you need to pay monthly. You can have a monthly transportation card. It's entirely up to you, whatever you have. I might not have, and I might have something that you don't have. The idea is every single expense that you do in a month needs to appear here, and you see that you have done that well, simply because, so for example here, it's not very good what I have done, because I have changed the utilities with -5 and food with -5, and the numbers are not reconciling, meaning that at the end of the month I'm having 985, and I should have here also 985. So yeah, that means that, for example, I can have 1085 in my current account and 100 on the debt on the credit card. This is the first step, and for many of you might be a revolution. It's the first step in understanding your personal finances, and with this you start moving into the direction of becoming financially aware and hopefully gaining a little bit of financial independence. Now, if you like this video, please do not forget to like it here on YouTube, to comment if you have something to add, if you disagree with something, if you think something is not really okay in what I have said here and done, to share it if you think somebody would be interested in seeing this, and most importantly to subscribe to my channel. And you have some other options which are in the links below. Later, once you are starting to build these savings, so you are starting to work with a budget which doesn't have a deficit, and you want to buy some shares, for example, you can do it on eToro without paying a commission or a fee. Also, you have the 2 links for Amazon programs if you like audibles, so audiobooks, 2 free audiobooks, or joining the Kindle program. And also there is a wish list which will improve me, which will help me improve the quality of my videos. Once again, my name is Alex Petrescu, and I look forward to presenting to you next video, which will be also in this direction of understanding simple things about personal finances in life. Thank you very much, and have a good day, evening, wherever you are.